Valerie V Show, and we are talking today about a new beta program that we have announced. But I want to talk to you about home care leads in general and what my experience has been, especially talking to hundreds and hundreds of you all the time, every month, every year, the experience about home care leads in general. The general consensus for most home care agency owners is that buying home care leads from one of the companies that sells them doesn't really work very well. It may have run its course. These are leads, whether you buy them exclusive to you or not exclusive to you, they can be expensive. And there's two things that are a problem. Number one, the person who fills out the lead form gets bombarded with 1,000 phone calls instantly. And number two, these people could be tire kickers, and they could be in a place where they are on the sidewalk. So I describe a potential home care client or family like this. You have the folks that are on the sidewalk. They know there's a problem, but they aren't in a position to address it, but maybe they've started doing some research and they're starting to think about, this is coming down the pike for mom in the next 6 months, next year. We know that something's going to happen. We need to know a little bit more about what our options are now so that we're not in a crunch when the time comes. We know it's coming. So they're tire kickers, but that's, rightfully so. We're talking about a huge financial investment, a huge emotional investment, and a very overwhelming decision for a family. The next set of people are in the slow lane. So that means they have made it onto the highway, but they're in the slow lane. And what they're doing is they are realizing that something is coming, that this is getting closer and closer and closer. They know mom probably shouldn't be living alone, but they're having a hard time convincing her that that's the case. And then you have people in the fast lane. Those people in the fast lane, this has happened. The event has occurred. She's had a stroke. She's fallen and broken her hip. She's been diagnosed with cancer. She's had to have some kind of major surgery in general. Or maybe she's had a heart attack, whatever the case, they know that right now, this is it. She's not going to be able to live alone at home after this event occurs. So they're ready to implement some kind of services. It might not be all day, every day, but, it might be a couple of hours a day. It might be, 3 times a week, somebody to check in on her while everybody's at work. So we have sidewalk, slow lane, fast lane. When you buy home care leads, most of the people are going to be on the sidewalk. They have not taken a step to commit that this is going to happen right now. There are people who will be genuinely ready to move, but for the most part, you have people on the sidewalk. So, having said that, a lot of people will describe buying home care leads as a failure, and it just, because we believe that when someone fills out a form, we've been led to believe this, and sometimes it is true, that they're ready to take action right now. So we get this list of leads, and maybe we subscribe to this for 2 or 3 months, or maybe 6 months, and we have all these people on this list. Not only are we not following up with them after the first week, but we're also believing that they've moved on to someone else, which is probably not true at all. They probably are just still on the sidewalk, or they're in the slow lane and they haven't hit that acute fast lane issue yet. So keeping those people on your list is super important. Sending out a monthly newsletter is super important. So let's go back to home care leads in general. The general consensus pretty much is that they don't work. People will still buy them. They're out of desperation or out of not knowing what else to do. I get it. The general consensus also is that Google AdWords don't work. And I am a person who will tell you that you should probably be extremely careful about your use of Google AdWords. I'm not a believer for the home care market. I am a believer for lots of other things, including my business, but not for home care. And that comes from 10 years of experience. I've talked to everybody under the sun, and I've never, ever, ever been able to talk to a person who can pinpoint and say, here's the ad, here's how long it took, here is how much we spent, here's the return on investment. This person specifically clicked on this ad, became a client, and we made money. That little path has never been shown to me for Google AdWords. So it's not to say that it doesn't work, but the challenge is that a lot of job seekers will click on those ads and spend your budget, no matter how many negative keywords you put in, no matter what you do, put in place. So how do you get rid of the job seekers but have ads that go exclusively to you that are running through your website, not somebody else's, and who also are people who you understand may be in that sidewalk. They may not be, or they may be in the slow lane and they may not be ready to pull the trigger. But on the other hand, when they do enter your life through an ad, you are ready to follow up with them every single day, or not every single day, every other day or so for a month. And they're on your newsletter list, and they see your content, and they're on your Facebook page, and they know about your Instagram and your Twitter and your LinkedIn, and they know how much you invest in your community, your employees, yourselves, and that you are interested in helping them, whether it's today or 6 months down the road. That's the kind of lead that you want to have. This person who becomes engaged. You'll still get those fast laners once in a while that boom, 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 want care right now. Totally get it, and those are the most awesome. Those are the icing on the cake. The reality is that you've got your sidewalkers and your slow laners. So what we did was we put together a beta test, and we need folks to enter that beta test. But here's the criteria. First of all, this is not for the people who are agencies who are struggling financially, maybe the startups and folks like that. This is for home care agencies that have a solid financial foundation, that have been in business for a while, that understand the value of this, that understand that they may get nothing, but that the overall achievement is building their online empire. I hope this works tremendously well, and we wouldn't put this kind of work into it if we didn't think it would. But you have to make sure you understand that this is a financial commitment. So what we are going to do is we're going to take all those folks who apply and who want to join our beta test. We are going to work with them specifically to run ads and to have a complete system set up, which is a lot of work on our part, to make sure those ads, those leads, those home care agency leads are nurtured, that they are taken care of, that they are followed up with, and all of that's done on the internet and automatically. But the other piece of this equation that is helpful is to know whether or not you are a good closer or not a good closer. And by that I mean, some people are really good at running a home care agency. They're really good at being a caregiver. They're really good at what they do. They're really good at talking to families, but they're not good at sealing the deal, getting the signature on the bottom line. They're just not a great closer. You have to identify yourself as a great closer or not a great closer. I certainly can't do that for you. But if you're not a great closer, then what you might not want to do this, because I can send you all the most amazing leads of all time. And if you're not a good closer, then this program will have not worked for you. So I'm looking for folks who know they can close home care agency clients and families, who have a marketer on board who can close just about anybody they get a chance to get in front of. And I mean, 1 in 4, 1 in 3, I don't know, something like that. But you have to understand that if you get a quality lead and you can't close them, it doesn't mean the program didn't work. It means that you might not be a good closer, and that's really hard to accept as a human person, and it's really hard, and I can't certainly identify that for you. So I'm looking for folks who are financially stable in their home care agency, and they've been in business a while, so they totally get it. They're looking to build their online empire, and they know that they have a good closing ratio, whether that's you yourself or a marketer or someone in your life. So those are the folks that really will qualify for this beta program. And we will get those people who may be on the sidewalk. We will get them followed up. We will make sure they understand how much you care about them and their needs when they become a slow laner or a fast laner. We want to take them through that process. So that lead might close today. It might close in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. We want those icing on the cake leads that close quickly, but we also want to make sure that the people who are in the slow lane or in the sidewalk area are people who will close later down the road. So that is what the beta program is all about. We've had tons of people inquire, and we're just going to kind of have some conversations to make sure they all meet the right criteria. and then we'll move forward. If you're interested, all the information is here with this video, and you are more than welcome to ask for more information or to inquire or have a conversation with us. So that is who I'm looking for. If that describes you, then please consider joining our beta program. We do this every year. We try out a system, we see if it's successful. If it is successful, then we offer it out to others. There is a 20-mile radius exclusivity on this, because we don't want the same people offering the same things within a 20-mile radius. That will be in effect for now, and if somebody drops out, then that 20-mile radius will open up. So this is first come, first serve, a 20-mile radius exclusivity, and anything else that is in the text there, you can read it all. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you can join us, and we'll talk to you soon.